Hello YouTube, Liverpool fan in Japan here, the Miyazaki man Sai. Finally, the semi-final is upon us. The first of two cup fixtures. We're against Fulham. We take a 2-1 lead to Craven Cottage tonight. And I think tonight's going to be a cracker. Fulham have nothing to lose. In fact, it's all cliche, but you know, it's a cup final, right? It really literally is. If they win, they go through to the cup final. But I'm actually supremely confident on Liverpool progressing, and I'll tell you why in just a bit. Before we get onto that, I want to congratulate Dave's LFC Chats, one of the first Liverpool content creators that I met on the platform as well. Lovely guy. He's hit 10k subscribers. Congratulations, my man. Ometetou gozaimasu. I hope to get to myself this year. Fingers crossed. And now I'm snug back in the heat, but this morning I went to my little man, the Mushroom Boys, kindergarten, and they had a sumo wrestling tournament in January. My goodness, absolutely epic. The world of the weird and wonderful Japan is. Speaking of wonderful, caramel melty kiss. Insatiable. Let's get on with it. Now, I do actually rate Marco Silva as a coach. I think he's going to employ some sneaky tactics. He's going to go all guns blazing and really try to get Fulham into that final, because it'd be a crowning achievement against the Chelsea, who are very up and down. I know they smashed Middlesbrough yesterday 6-1. However, they are beatable on any given day. But similarly, anyone can win on any given day, and that's why we have to be careful, because I have a sneaky suspicion he's going to do a very unorthodox tactic, similar to what Arteta tried in the first half. So you have your classic two up front, and they have their two in behind. We're talking about Andres Pereira and Willian. Up front, probably Raul Jimenez and the Cordova Reed. I think they're going to look to split the strikers and try to draw us out and play dual number 10s, Andres Pereira and Willian, trying to get in amongst the space here and try to overload us in that way. Stretching the play and pushing the 10s forward, similar to what Arsenal did with Havertz and Odegaard as well. And they're going to try it to get the 4 up front, in and amongst our players, in between our lines, and pressure our number 6 with the 2 number 10s. So I think they will really go for it in the first half. So it'll be very interesting to see how it plays out. And I'm just going to get rid of these Fulham players in the first instance. So we've got to be careful here, because this is a semi-final. We're holding a narrow 2-1 lead. Obviously, we came back to get that 2-1 lead. Anfield is a fortress. And this is our first chance to get into a final, the Carabao Cup final. And it is the Carabao Cup. So some may be thinking we don't go full strength. You know, we play some of the kids. Perhaps we have the firepower off the bench. But I think Pep Lijnders and Klopp will be taking this fairly seriously. Szoboszlai is back in contention as well. I don't think he'll start. I don't know if he'll make the bench, but Robertson is match fit according to the video, and it's the coach's decision as to whether Robbo has any influence on this game as well. But that being said, I think Kelleher, has been noted that Kelleher is still our cup keeper, so Kelleher will start in the back line, and this actually influences a lot of the choices here, because Connor Bradley starts at right back. The fact is Trent is coming back to fitness, not ready yet, and he is our established right back in the absence of Joe Gomez, who has been doing an absolutely amazing job on the left. I watched the Gomez documentary. Shy, humble lad from humble beginnings, and really cemented himself as a proper Liverpool player, not just a squad player, a first 11 player that can have an impact off the squad covering. He's very versatile, he's quick, he's added delivery to his play as well, and ball carrying. Klopp even trusted him to invert from the right back position. What a player Mr. Gomez is, much loved in amongst the Liverpool squad, and here to stay. I'm going to do a video on Gomez, underappreciated, underrated, in due time as well. But Connor Bradley will be here, and therefore, even with Robbo back, I don't think Robbo will start this one, because he's got to get his ways back to match fitness, and Gomez has been an admirable job at left back covering there as well, and he's very good against inverted wingers. Who knows if Harry Wilson will start or not. He can do a job on Harry Wilson as well. If Harry Wilson pops up to the right hand side and tries cutting on the left hand side, Gomez, this is very good for that. Now, Virgil van Dijk picks himself. Semi-final, you need leadership ability. Obviously, our leadership squad is depleted with Trent out, with Salah, AFCON, with Robbo out as well. You need a leader. Van Dijk comes straight in. His fitness is remarkable, and he'll lead the line. Now, if this was an earlier round, I would say Quansah. Quansah probably comes in here to protect Konate and not let Konate have an extended run of games. But considering we're at home against Norwich in FA Cup in the next round, that's where I think Quansah will start, because this is a semi-final once again, and therefore Ibou Konate comes in. You don't want to take any chances. Now, this is the opportunity cost of regret. How much would you cheer and boast you managed to rest Konate or Curtis Jones or whatever? Yes, we won, we squeaked through, squeaky bum time, and managed to give him a rest, or at least a 60-minute rest, etc., against the regret of, oh my goodness, they done us in 2-0. and I should have started them, and we came off the bench, but it just wasn't enough time to turn it around. The opportunity cost of regret is just not worth it, because this is our first opportunity to get into final, and we need the momentum, and it's better to start strong and change it as we go along, just in this circumstance, in this scenario where it's a knockout to the final. Okay, and we know that Chelsea are there already, and I think we have Chelsea's number in the final, so really go for this cup. Okay, that being said, because Kelleher's at the back there, I think you play your strongest back line that we have available at the moment, because this is an Alisson Becker. Now, no slight on Kelleher, he's quality, but you know, Alisson is Alisson. So similarly, McAllister, after an amazing performance, hopefully he keeps up the form. What I really liked about him is he used his backside to shield the ball. He got his foot in. He must have been watching videos of Endo or got encouragement on a FaceTime or voice chat or anything like that. And Endo was like, McAllister, son. Pong. And McAllister's like, oh, the sword is near. And usually gingers have something about them, a bit of ginger nuts, hard nuts or whatever, you know. Risa, pelt it in, Risa Rocket release the Kraken. McAllister needs his ginger vibe coming out again. Even when Messi looks ginger, he's unstoppable as well. So yeah, put McAllister in there. He's learned from Endo. He's releasing the inner ginger. It's all good. Ginger's good for the heart, good for my heart, good for the soul. Eat a lot of ginger. It's tasty. Okay, so in 8 positions we have a few choices. So Jones is actually fit for this match, clutching his hamstring, precautionary more than anything. He's a senior pro, he knows there's nothing to play for in the last game, so come off. Now Jones is probably our most valuable midfielder in this lineup at the moment, just because of Endo's absence. Now McAllister is very valuable, and I think he's established himself as a quality option in number 6 as well, but Jones really pieces things together because he can just transition offensively, defensively. Every phase of play, Jones is prominent, and he's probably having an influence in everything good that we do. So Jones should play this, but saying that though, the other options are Elliott and Gravenberch as well. Szoboszlai is potentially fit as well. Gakpo might go in the left-sided 8 as well. He's an option there. But I think you start with Jones to get a control of the game, because he is control, he is balance, and he is temperament. When you have Jones on the pitch, you have some confidence and familiarity that anywhere that you get Jones in and on the ball in the field, he'll probably hold it up and do something productive, or at least recycle it. So valuable player here. And Elliott is our right-sided 8, right? But actually, the two choices are Elliott on a right wing or Elliott on the right-sided 8. But then where does it leave Gravenberch? Gravenberch hasn't started, and he probably deserves a start. And in an away fixture, he's probably going to get more space because Fulham will need to be a bit more offensive. I actually think Gravenberch starts this one because of the balance of McAllister and Jones and the ball playing ability. You kind of compensate somewhat for the unpredictability of Gravenberch, whether he'll be clutching his passing or whether he'll get the ball and drive through the lines. But just for the fact that I think he will be offered a bit more space here. Either way, it could be Jones on the right, it could be Gravenberch on this side, and this is a very big possibility considering that Jones probably natively can drop more into the defensive position to cover for Bradley bursting forward than Gravenberch would do. I'd feel slightly more comfortable with that setup than I would with Jones there and Bradley bombing forward. So Gravenberch here, because he's got an experienced head, Gomez behind him, and if all goes absolutely kaput, then Mr. Van Dijk covering. I know Konate is a beast and down the lines and anything like that, but you're talking about composure, and you're talking about covering ability, and you're talking about guiding him in the right place. His fellow Dutch international teammate, Van Dijk, Gravenberch, I'll probably see this more often than not, if indeed he does start. So does Jones, Gravenberch and McAllister dominate this midfield enough to facilitate different strategies up front? So I think we do have a lot of options up front. Will Elliott go in this position, a pseudo Mo Salah, inverted winger, cutting side, wide playmaker? Well, it ultimately depends on which striker we play, because Núñez and Gakpo offer very different things. Now saying that though, Núñez is on fire, 2 clinical finishes, but I think this is probably a game for Gakpo. Now Fulham are quite silky in the midfield, between Harry Wilson, Reed, Paulinho, Willian, Pereira. They've got some silky ballers in there, and sometimes they do overwhelm the midfield. I talked about the dual 2 number 10s in front, trying to pressure our number 6, splitting the strikers out wide there. They might try to cause an overload even. Therefore, Gakpo can drop in as the shadow striker to add an extra man, and additionally, as a dummy runner, he allows Gravenberch to progress in as well to work with our left winger. So Gakpo, for me, starts in the middle in this particular match, with Núñez an option off the bench to add his firepower and unpredictability. I love how Pep Lijnders referred to him as chaos as well. Everyone knows the chaos quality of Darwin Núñez. Literally, his existence on the pitch means opportunity, because through chaos comes the greatest opportunities. Even with tragedy and conflict and anything like that, there's always a glimmer of light and opportunity caused from the chaos. Núñez's existence on the pitch causes confusion amongst the opposition, amongst the teammates, amongst themselves, and their inner turmoil creates an opening for himself or someone else. Hopefully someone buries it on the Liverpool side. So yes, Gakpo starts here, and therefore if he drops into there, allowing our more progressive attacking midfield play, who goes on the left. Now, who can slot in behind in absence of Gakpo dropping into the midfield, top of the diamond, into these half spaces here? I think Jota has got to start, because Jota's slotter, fire, fury, and a big build-up from Pep Lijnders as well. I think Jota plays, because he is the guarantee of goals if he gets in the shooting position. But does he go left or right? He can go on either side, to be honest. Depends. If you play Núñez, Núñez has to play on the left. If you play Jota, Jota can play left or right. If you play Lucho Diaz, he starts on the left, but predominantly he's been played on the right-hand side. And that discounts Harvey Elliott as the pseudo Mo Salah. But I think Harvey Elliott starts against Norwich, and probably Jarrell Quansah as well. And therefore, I will go with Lucho Diaz in his natural position, for the fact that Gakpo dropping in allows him to really, really push up high and really go down the line, or really cut inside and really do his thing. And Diogo Jota, because Jota the slotter can operate at any given area. Now Jota can undercut as well, and this is very interesting because these three will rotate. So Gakpo is very well versed at coming left, Lucho Diaz roams in the centre, he probably can drop deep as well, being the shadow striker, attacking midfielder kind of play area. Jota obviously can transition into middle, and Luis Diaz is very good at coming out wide as well. So there's a lot of potential versatility and shape. There's no issue with this starting lineup as well. Gakpo obviously cutting inside, crossing to the back post, two decent headers, scored a late header, and Jota's undeniably great in the air as well. So with that in mind, I think this is most likely our starting lineup. Because of the fact that Kelleher will start, we need the strongest back line we can have, just to account for the fact that he's not Alisson. He's still good enough. Therefore, McAllister in the 6 will be protected, because this triangle is pretty solid as well. He comes and sweeps up, collects the ball as well. Gravenberch is protected by the fact that Gomez and Van Dijk are more senior than Conor Bradley. No slight on Conor Bradley, because he will be bombing up and down. But I much prefer Jones covering in and behind here and forming that kind of unit, allowing Bradley into the space. If Lucho Diaz cuts inside, or similar to Jota, it allows Bradley around the outside, where you have the poachers and the back post threat and the number 10 outside shooter, which is a good source of goal. I think Bradley will have a major impact in this game. I'm quite confident in his playing skills. I think he has the right skill set to complement this particular team, and have all the confidence in him because he's got real quality around him. He's not just a backup or squad player. He legitimately adds something, and he should have got a goal. The only reason I rated him a 7 and not an 8 in the last game is because one of those two chances I would have expected him to score. I treat him as a first team player. There we go. Thank you everyone who replied on in regards to my shorts, my post comment. I will be looking to make some shorts, some satire, some sarcasm, some humour, some facts, some news roundups, whatever. It's all good. It's all gravy, baby. And yeah, hopefully we get through to the final. The reason why I'm supremely confident about this particular matchup on Liverpool getting to the final is because when you lay it straight and you lay it on paper, regardless of how the match begins, even the middle phase, Fulham have to beat Liverpool by 2 clear goals because of our 2-1 first lead to get into the final in normal time plus injury time. They have to do it within whatever extended time is on the pitch. And with that in mind, if Fulham beat Liverpool with this kind of lineup, with this kind of team sheet, with this selection of quality players on our current form and on our current run, then Fulham deserve to get in the final. No qualms about it, no doubts about it. If they can beat us by 2 clear goals, Fulham deserves to be in the final, and good luck to them. But unfortunately for them, even a draw is not good enough, because we hold a slender lead, 2-1 advantage from the first leg, and therefore Liverpool to qualify. Now, predictions, I think Liverpool still win the game, and it'll probably be a 2-1 result again. I think Liverpool will go for a 2-1 result, and I believe Liverpool could play conservative, watch what Fulham do in the first half, and that's usually been the Klopp way this season, because it saves energy for the second half burst. Coup de grace, big burst, Shinra Tensai, big push into the opposition to attack them and overwhelm them with our options, versatility, and our firepower, because we still have firepower. Soboslai's here, if Robbo is here, etc. We have great options off the bench as well. Núñez isn't even starting lineup here. Elliott always makes an impact off the bench as well. Silky. So we have options of firepower, but I trust that this team is good enough to get the win against Fulham and see ourselves in the final. And then we rotate against Norwich in FA Cup, because that is at Anfield, and we have more of our squad back and the options to change it as well. So hopefully you agree with my lineup. Let me know in the comments below what you think. A like really helps this video get seen. A short space of time until the kickoff. But guys, thank you so much for supporting as always. Love your comments, love your interaction. This might be the most interactive Liverpool channel of all time, baby. And I'm really enjoying all the comments. I'm trying my best to reply to you all personally. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, like the video. Until next time, Jane, Miyazaki-man, Ichiban.